Smart people consistently destroy their growth because they believe that they are one piece of vital information away from success. And it's no different when creating referral partnerships. That's why instead of giving you yet another rundown on time management, we're going to find a way to turn that overthinking into momentum through IPAs and the 4x4 challenge. Let's dive in.
Let it bounce.
Rewinding back to September of 2018, we had just started our outside sales team, and I took my first journey into the field, driving 45 minutes to my first prospect as a referral partner. Now, I literally spent 45 minutes pacing in a logistics parking lot, a couple properties up the road, trying to come up with the best way to make sure that I introduce myself perfectly and have the perfect circumstances and all this crap. 45 minutes later, I finally get the nerve to walk in, and the decision maker, who happened to be the owner, wasn't even there. Probably had left while I was trying to figure out exactly what to say. I hadn't figured things out, but to be fair, neither had the others on our team. It actually got so bad that by mid-November, we sat down and we were told that by January, about 6 weeks later, we had to have sold 93 memberships collectively in order for us to continue this outside sales team. Now, to give you an idea, just a month prior to that, when we were on the inside sales team, I could have sold 93 memberships in my sleep, no problem in a month. But when it came to selling them through referral partnerships, it was proving to be a little bit more difficult than we had anticipated. Now, luckily, instead of waiting for the perfect plan, we decided to alter our approach. We just doubled down on our effort. We changed a couple things, we tweaked things as we went, and not only did we hit our goal, personally that December, I sold 123 memberships myself, and the rest of the team had brought in a couple dozen themselves as well. The things we learned during that time period, they are still the absolute foundation of what we teach our new guys in training today and how we coach them in the field. And they are the same foundation that I'm teaching you through this course. We didn't figure it out because we had all the answers. We figured it out because we took action. As a matter of fact, our results proved yet again the findings of a highly studied psychological fact around building confidence. Follow me on this. Most people think that confidence comes from knowledge. I'm so guilty of that. I think that if I just learn a little bit more, it's going to help me out. But that's not actually the case. Confidence only comes from taking action, but typically after taking a huge hit. Human nature is to feel confident when we do something new after we've mentally decided to do it. That's because we don't understand the full scope of complexity on the task that we had agreed to, which is why after a short amount of time of trying anything brand new, it's completely normal to feel a little bit overwhelmed and wonder if we'd really made the right choice in the first place. Again, that's totally normal. Psychologists call this the confidence dip. And if you're anything like me, it's something that I think is super important that we teach all of our new sales guys when they start something new. It's why I'm teaching you this today. Think of the idea of beginner's luck. It's there because anytime you start something new, your confidence starts higher, and then you get a little bit of momentum going and you start thinking about all the perfect ways that you can alter things and how you can do it perfectly. And next thing you know, things start becoming more difficult. Over time, though, through continued action, things usually pick up. So why am I telling you this? Well, when you're first going through this course, your confidence will likely start taking a hit because you feel like this is totally a game changer and we need to implement this into the business. But then you start learning all of the things and you might get a little bit overwhelmed. That's totally normal. Again, I can't overemphasize it enough. It just means that you are growing. So what is the best way to continue forward? Well, it's not to get more information. It's by taking action on the information that you already have. Also, keep in mind that I've already taught you about that bullseye method and keeping the main thing the main thing. And so when you're creating these referral partnerships and you're going that one ring out, it doesn't mean that you're going to disrupt your core business, which is why I created the 4x4 method. It's 4 hours per week for 4 straight weeks. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Here's how you'll likely spend those 4 hours each week. Hour number 1 is probably going to be spent preparing. It's going to be through preparation. You're going to start calling, texting, DMing, all of these potential referral partners that you have on your Dream 25 list. You want to lock in 2 meetings in person. Now, what do those meetings look like? Very simple. Everyone's going to eat lunch. Take 2 people to lunch or coffee and build that relationship over the course of the week. Very likely won't even have to replace something that you're already doing if you're taking them out to lunch. Hour 4, you're just going to review. You're going to update your CRM. You're going to do some follow-ups, and you're going to schedule those next meetings. Remember, preparation creates partnerships. You do this for 4 weeks. You're minimally going to have 8 different people who you've reached out to. And even if just 2 of them start bringing in some additional business, you could potentially change your business forever. That referral partner that took me 45 minutes to initially walk into, almost a decade later, they're still a producing partner for us. You don't have to get this perfect, but you do have to take action. Here's the best part. This isn't time management, it's income management, because you're going to focus on something that I'm going to call your IPAs. Now, no, I'm not talking about that disgusting beer that hippies pretend that they like. IPAs stand for income producing activities. Top producers the world over, they don't obsess about filling their calendars with tasks. They focus on obsessing and multiplying their income producing activities. And so if you are focused on your IPAs, your income producing activities, you're going to naturally find that you're replacing that busy work, that time that you thought was so important doing these other tasks. Well, if they're not actually producing any income for you, if they're not an IPA, you shouldn't be focused on them. So here's my challenge to you. Don't do what I did, pacing for 45 minutes, waiting for perfect conditions and the perfect pitch and all these perfect things that are just not going to happen. You're not going to get that abundance of information. You don't need it even if it's there. Open your calendar and block out those first 4 hours. In fact, all you got to do is start with that first 1 hour that is then going to lead to those 2 meetings and then have the follow-up afterwards. You just need to take action, even if you don't feel ready. The sooner that you stop overthinking and you just take action, focusing on those IPAs, the sooner your referral partnerships are going to start gaining momentum and putting you in a position to win. And if you're anything like our team, they will become your unfair advantage.